What would you do if you are asked to perform a new skill at work? Will you say no? Will you hesitate? Or would you step out of your comfort zone and say yes? Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Alhan. I'm an interpreter and children's author, and I'd like to share with you my personal experience of when I was asked to perform a new skill and I didn't think I could do it. Now, true that my profession might be very different from yours, but the main principles that would push a person to say yes could be applied through different professions. So let me give you a background story. I am a language interpreter, a translator. My main focus has been with consecutive interpreting for the past 15 plus years. For those of you who don't know what consecutive interpreting is, so I am the language interpreter. There are two parties. One is speaking in one language. I take notes and then relay those notes to the other party in the different language. This has been my specialty and it's easy for me. I do it every day. I love it. This time I was asked to perform simultaneous interpreting. No time to take notes, no time to maybe search for a new term or ask them for repetition. None of that. You cannot be in communication with the speaker when it's simultaneous interpreting. I've been attending this beautiful conference for the past few years, and the first time I was there, they found out I was an interpreter by profession, so they asked me if I could help with the Q&A session to interpret what one of the speakers was going to answer in English into Arabic. So I was standing in front of everyone. Here's a short clip of it. I will post the link in the comments section below.
One of these women has a beautiful image of what she was shown when she was on the other side. This is her experience.
إحدى هؤلاء السيدات كانت عندها صورة جميلة للشيء الذي شاهدته عندما ذهبت إلى الجانب الآخر في المعادن، وهذه تجربتها الخاصة.
So you can see even the video was not planned, but they were happy with me, so they asked me to help them the following years. During the pandemic, it was very easy. You might have seen some of the videos. I will post the link in the description below. It was very easy to do it over Zoom because the fear of stage can be real sometimes. So I didn't have any of that in front of me, even though I knew I was being heard by hundreds of people, but it was still easier. This year, I was asked to help with simultaneous interpreting because the number of English speakers who are interested in attending has increased. And this place, which is so beautiful, surrounded by nature, did not have a booth for interpreters. So here's what I did. I made my own booth. I had arranged it with the organizing committee prior to attending the conference that we will need some kind of a system for me to interpret simultaneously to the English speakers. We used an app called LiveVoice, and it's an app that you can download on your phone in situations where you need to do simultaneous interpreting and you don't have a booth. The link is in the description below. Make sure you use the promo code Alhan for a discount on all base plans for the first 3 months of signing up for this app. Things went very smoothly. I was happy with my interpreting for most of the time. Of course, I'm never satisfied 100%. Some of my learnings throughout this process of doing simultaneous interpreting for the first time was that I had to be prepared. So a few months in advance, I had started preparing myself mentally first for this task, that I was going to do it. I would imagine myself performing it, and I was satisfied at the end. Also, I would do some exercises that would help with improving my simultaneous skill. There are many ways to practice simultaneous interpreting. One of the ways that I enjoyed doing was shadowing, which is listening to any audio in one of the languages that you want to speak in and just repeating after them what they're saying in real time. Not in the opposite language, in the same language that you're hearing it, just say it right after them. You can do this if you're watching the news, if you're listening to a podcast, in any way. You can just repeat what you are literally saying. So that really helped. Then after doing some shadowing, I played something else that I liked and I would do simultaneous interpreting. Now, one thing I wasn't sure about was how am I gonna manage interpreting 1 hour at a time? I interpreted in 3 sessions. Each one of the sessions was an hour long. That's something I wasn't very sure about during my practice. I interpreted for the entire hour, but it was during that time or right after that I thought, now I understand why interpreters need a partner, especially simultaneous interpreters. It's a lot of pressure on the brain. I definitely just needed to be in a quiet room after that, and I thought it would have been much nicer to have someone to partner with. Then also the performance, whether you like it or not, dear interpreters, dear simultaneous interpreters, the performance, no matter how hard you try, will drop lower. If you are at 100 when you start, you will drop to 60 or 50 towards the end of that hour. So that's something to make sure of, that you have a partner when you are simultaneously interpreting. Now, if you are watching this and you're not an interpreter, think of some of the challenges that you might face with this new skill that you will be performing and see how you can prepare for that. Would you need a backup? Would you need to take notes? Would you need to do anything in your field? Sit down and write the challenges that you might be facing and just be prepared for them. Another challenge for me that I was not well prepared for was the possible visual distractions. So I was at the very end of the hall. A huge wooden banner was blocking me, but I moved it a little bit to the side so I could see the speaker. And I had my headphones. I used them for the mic. I like that mic. So I would hear the speaker through one of my ears, just moving the headphone aside, and I could see them, so I was focused on them. But sometimes there were people passing by in the back, right? That was a visual distraction sometimes. The first time or two, I was like, oh my God, I'm distracted. I was starting to get a little panicky about it, but then I thought, wait, what can I do about this? I can't ask people not to move. So my solution for that was just close your eyes. If someone's passing by, close your eyes. Don't see them, just listen and interpret. And it worked for the rest of the session. So that was very good. So find a solution for the challenges that you might be facing and be prepared for unexpected challenges. This is a new skill. You will be performing it for the first time, maybe the second time. It's still new. Be prepared to face new challenges that you have never thought of. And it's okay if you don't come up with the optimal solution. Just think of the best thing you can do at that time and do it. I didn't have much room for thinking even because I was interpreting nonstop. So my brain had to just listen to the speaker and say the words in the other language. But I'm thankful that it occurred to me to just close my eyes and minimize those distractions. Another thing that I did to prepare myself for this new skill that I was stepping into was making sure I have as much notes as possible from the presenters. Of course, I was not in touch with the presenters directly, but it was through the organizing committee. And here's another unexpected challenge that I faced. Some of the presenters sent their notes to the organizers on time. What I wanted the notes for was to prepare a glossary, learn any new vocabulary, because there's no time to search for any terminology when you are simultaneously interpreting. So I had the notes of one of the presenters. I made a glossary out of it, and I'm so glad that I did that, because that presenter on the day of the presentation told me, oh, I have changed a few slides. I have added things. I'm not going to say some of the things. So I knew there was no point of me following her notes. I had to listen and interpret what I was hearing, not rely on the notes. So dear interpreters, take as much notes as you need from the presenters, but be ready to interpret without them. Prepare by memorizing new vocabulary and practicing the skill of simultaneous interpreting. Now, the interesting thing is that I was given the notes of the second presenter the day before the presentation. I was literally there at the conference. I thought, I will never have the same amount of time I had for the other presentation to prepare for this one. What do? When you're in such a situation, just do your best. I was given the PowerPoint that they were going to be using, not the full notes of what they were going to actually say. So I just went through that PowerPoint presentation. The third session of my interpreting, that was really interesting. I had no notes for it. It was a Q&A session plus a talent presentation from the participants that have worked on some poetry writing the previous day. So they had like 10 to 15 minutes to present some of the things that they have written. And that really took me off guard. The first person that read their poem, I was just frozen. After a few seconds of silence, I said in the microphone, well, this is poetry, and I'm not experienced in literary interpreting. But when the second person came up, I said to the English speakers, I am going to try to interpret this poetry. And I gave them the gist and the meaning of the poem that was said. Also, the questions and answers were also new, but they were all based on the sessions and workshops of the previous 2 days. So I had the vocabulary I needed and it went smoothly. In conclusion, I am really glad that I stepped out of my comfort zone and I tried something new. For anyone that have watched this far into this video, that means you really are thinking about starting a new skill, either in your career or even somewhere else. It's worth it. It's a big challenge. It's a lot of pain in the process, sometimes even physical pain, but it's worth it. When you're on the other side, you feel stronger, you feel more confident, you feel that you have a new skill. Sometimes you might feel some embarrassment and some hesitation along the way, but that's just normal with anything new in life, isn't it? So this was just the starting point of simultaneous interpreting for me. You never know, you might start getting more videos on simultaneous interpreting as I'm stepping into this new realm. I would love to hear from your experiences if you have started a new skill or you're thinking of starting a new skill. What are you doing? How are you preparing for it? If you've done it already, share your experience of the challenges, the preparations, the outcome. I would love to hear your comments. If you like my content, please subscribe, like, share, and see you in the next video.